Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 on PlayStation 4 with me, MrSealyp. It's Monday the 29th of June. We have XE new mods today. We have a few. We have no updates that I'm aware of. Oh, we might have done, yes, to one of the Holger Sengstock sprayer packs. But that's not showing up on the actual website. It is on the Modhub though as an update. We have got a new season's Geo Hawaii. Some of the new geos coming out are puzzling me in that. This is by Meier Family Modding, the season's Geo Hawaii. That they're being released PC, Mac, PS4 and Xbox One, but we're not getting the maps, obviously, that go with them. Because it does say on there, experience farming on the beautiful island of Hawaii. I mean, on console we can have the Geo for Hawaii, but we haven't got any map for it. But anyway, it's new out. It's a Geo by Meier Family Modding Seasons Geo Hawaii. First of the mods, in front of us we've got the Brick Fence and Gates by Svitch. We've got this section here. This, I think we've got a 2 metre section, 1 metre section, post, double gates, corner 2 metre section. Is that a corner? It wasn't a corner. That was just a 2 metre, 1 metre, there's left and rights, isn't it, I think. And then we've got a small gate as well. The small gate opens. Now put in conjunction with each other, lined up with gates and fence sections. Each section then would have a post by it because you're going to butt the next section up against it. I'll just put them out like this so you can see, and we've got some corners in here as well. One thing I will say, the larger sections, like the double gate entryway there, and these longer pieces and the corner piece were 8 slots each for the first one you get. Then the slot count does drop down. These you will find under placeables. It wasn't decoration, it was miscellaneous. Now they obviously say 1 slot each now because I've got 1 of each on there. So you've got the brick fence 2 metre right, 1 metre right, the stake. These are in the order that I put them out. We've got the gate, the brick fence corner 2 metre. Then brick fence 2 metre left, 1 metre left, small gate. Those are the ones that we've just seen, and vary in price from the stake at 20, 40, 60, and then the gate is 600. So yeah, I mean, it might be again another one of those additional things that it might be just the sort of thing you're looking for a particular let's play that you are on. So that's the brick fence and gates by Svitch. Moving on. We have got this. This is the Lizard 2M by Bartosz. This is 2 metre cultivator. You can have it with or without the basket roller on the back. It cultivates the ground to 2 metres. There are some options, I believe, on this, I think, for colour. Or have I misremembered? This one was under cultivators. I say was, is under cultivators. 4,000 to buy. This will use 1 slot. Although weirdly it says 2 metre, then in there it says 2.4. Doesn't look like 2.4, maybe it is. Requires 80 horsepower, and we can change the main colour like so. And we also have the option to have it without shaft and with shaft, so you can have it with the basket roller on the back or not. That's by Bartosz. Moving on, we've got this. This is the Bednar Presspack. This is by Nico Do 55 and FS Timelapse YT. This weirdly, this says in the description disc arrow. And I looked for it in disc arrows and it wasn't there because it is a disc arrow. It says category disc arrows. This was under cultivators, weirdly. 6 metre. Lots of detail on it. Nice looking bit of kit. Unfolds as well, which we're going to have a look at in just a second. But yeah, it was under cultivators. Just there, the Presspack, 9,000 to buy, 6 metre width, 200 horsepower required to pull it. This will use 8 slots for the first one. There are no options available. It's the Bednar yellow, and you get what you get. So what we'll do is hook it up. Double roller setup. And it cultivates out to 6 metres, which is what it's supposed to do. there you go. The Bednar Presspack by Nico Do55 and FS Timelapse YT. Moving on, we got the Deguillaume. Sorry, I've said that wrong. Deguillaume Force 16. This is by SimulagriModding. This is a muck spreader, manure spreader. We get a lot of stuff from SimulagriModding of late. Really nicely detailed stuff as well. I like the wood texture across the top there. It stands in contrast to the rest of the machine, and that's what kind of makes it stand out. But I like that. It's cool. I say lots of detail on this. This is, you know, it's 16,000 or 16,500 litre capacity. Nicely detailed mod. This you'll find under manure spreaders. Just there, 48,500 to buy, 16,500 maximum capacity, 140 horsepower required, and it spreads out to 14 metres, which isn't too bad at all. So you can have it like that, 16,000 litres, then with the extra little boards on the side, takes up to 16.5. We can have Trelleborg, standard, inverted wheels. We can have Michelin, standard or inverted, just switches the tyre tread round. We can have Mitas, standard or inverted, and then back to Trelleborg again. Those are the tyre options available. So let's hook it up. Normally we have to open these up like so. Very cool. Does have a beacon on the back too. That's a nice wide spread on that, 14 metres. I like that. Go back that way because I want to miss the bit I was going to show you. Nice animation. Does what it should, and then when you're done, close it back up again. Very cool. Nice, neat, tidy mod by SimulagriModding there. Very cool. Don't know why I turned the engine off. Next we have got the agricultural rollers. This is by Puszkap and KoPi. Now with the various different, we've got a few different frames that came recently with one of the cultivator packs. Oh, who was it by? Mine's gone blank who it was by, but I'm thinking with the frames you can actually hook multiple ones of these together. So this is an agricultural roller. Now this can be used for fertilising in the first fertilising state or before or first seed state of a planted crop. You can use it on a freshly harvested ground, you can use it on ploughed land, cultivated ground. So when you turn it on, you can get fertilising state without paying out for any fertiliser. Plus this can be used as a silage roller on your bunker silos for compacting your chaff down to get your silage before you blanket. This you'll find, where was it? I think it was under miscellaneous. I mean, you'd think it would be under either weeders or levelers, but it's not. There we go. Agricultural roller, 1,000 to buy, 2 metre width. It's only 3 slots for the first one. Like I say, I'm pretty sure. What should I say in a second? We can change the main colour of the frame to whatever you want it to be. That's pretty much all there is to that. I just want to. I'm sure I've got these installed, but I won't be able to remember who the modder was by. Who the modder was. Unfortunately, I apologise for that. But yeah, these ones here, the SP5, SP11, these frames, so you can actually hook multiple things on. Yeah, that should work, shouldn't it? But anyway, regardless of that, the roller itself, like I say, you can use it for a bunker silo. Why do I keep turning that engine off? But if I just roll across the ground, nothing happens. It just rolls. But if I turn it on, like so, and now roll across the ground, you get a darker strip where it's fertilising. So yeah, I mean, rolling out at the width it is at the moment would take you ages to do a field. But if you had multiple ones of these on a frame, or even if you just had a small tractor just going up and down a field, it's free fertiliser. You're getting a fertilising state for nothing. Just rolls it all down. And it's kind of weeding, squashes the weeds down to kill them. And you've got a free fertilising state. Not bad, that. Handy little bit of kit. So there you go. That's the agricultural rollers by Puszkap and KoPi. Moving on, we've got this. We mustn't forget this one here. This is the Ursus 1654-1954 pack. I thought we'd had this already by somebody else. Might have been a slightly different one. There's some nice features on this. It looks like the modernised version of the Ursus, and I actually do like the lines on this as well. I do like the kind of elongated front on it. It's a nice looking tractor. We've got a few options on this to buy. It's a tidy mod as well. This is by M8E. Now that could be M8E or Matey, depending on how you, if you're talking in text speak. But this you will find under medium tractors, I think it was. Yep, right at the very end. 42 grand for the base model, which is pretty good for the horsepower and stuff. And it isn't actually that expensive when you move up the horsepowers on this. So, this will use, how many slots was this? This was 28 slots. So we can have it on the front with no weights at all. A frame weight, so it's just the frame for the weights, but technically a weight in its own right. 1,200 kilogram, 2,000 kilogram. Back to the frame weight. Again, 600. Oh, 600, then 1,500. That's weird. That went an odd way through. Then front hydraulic, so you can go right way through those options if you want to have a front hydraulic on it as well. Engine setup, we can have the 1674M at 158 horsepower. 1674 at 158 horsepower. We can have 1654 at 160 horsepower. 1934 at 190 horsepower. And then you can have a 1934 with a chromed exhaust. See the exhaust change on there. Then we can have the 1934 chip-tuned version to 225 horsepower. Then there's also the 1934 Robert, which is only 190 horsepower, but it puts a horseshoe on the front there. Rather than the Ursus logo, there's a horseshoe on the front as an option. And then we've got the option for... go back down again. Standard tyres, weights, wides, wide and weights, duals. Then we can have wide tyres and weights with the red rims, and dual wheels on the red rims too, which I think was the one I went for. Then back to standards again. So a few options. Let's get in and start it up. I like this one. Nice engine sound. Not bad. The horn, beacon on top, lights, in-cab, nice and tidy. Interesting when we get through the lights, I think it puts the interior ones on. Yeah, look. It's unusual, I haven't come across that before. But we do also have, let's come back out, I'm going to open the help menu so I don't get this wrong. On our L1, right stick, side to side, would always be that one, opens and closes the rear window. Right stick up and down, opens and closes the sunroof, and that's a big old one on this one. Then L1 and R1, right stick side to side, opens and closes that door. Right stick up and down, opens and closes the other door, so we can have both doors open, rear window and sunroof on this as well. It's cool. Especially up to 225 horsepower, it's pretty good, isn't it? Anyway, moving on from that, that one was by M8E or Matey. Next up, we've got this, not the tractor, we've got this. This is the Vicon MH905 Twin. This is by WhiteBull Modding. This is a 2-row corn chaffer. This is a forage harvester unit. So if you want to turn your corn into silage, this will harvest 2 rows at a time, and it'll put the chaff into a trailer for you. It's a 3-point link mounted one, plus a trailer hitch on the back there, so you can hook your trailer to it. Pipe opens up and then it goes into the back, which I'm going to just show you in a moment. This you will find under tools and forage harvester headers, I think. It wasn't under the harvesters, it's under headers. right at the very end, 7,500 to buy, 2 metre width, so it's only a 2-row one. Only 55 horsepower required to pull this, so for your smaller machinery, smaller farms and fields when you just get going. 5 slots for this. Options available, we can change the attacher height on the back. So depending on what sort of trailer you're going to be pulling behind you, you can have a low attach or a high attach on the back of that, should you wish. So what we'll do is hook onto it, onto the 3-point link, like so. So we can open it up, L1 and X opens it up ready for actual harvesting. Pipe out, like so. And we back up to the trailer hook, hook up our trailer, and the pipe registers the trailer behind, and off you go. One man tip and unload unit. Admittedly only does 2 rows at a time, it's going to take you quite a while. I think the last time I did 2-row corn chaffing was on Golden Days of Farming, I think, on FS19. But it was only a small field, but I found it quite fun, therapeutic. Anyway, there you go. That's the Vicon MH905 Twin by WhiteBull Modding, which brings me on to the last of the mods for today, and it's a mod pack. This one has been eagerly anticipated by a lot of people. I know I've been really looking forward to this from when I first saw this tractor at Agritechnica last year with Virtual Farmer. I was just blown away by it, just a beautiful looking thing. And then Millennial Farmer Zach Johnson had one on the farm as a trial with some trial hours. Like or loathe John Deere, I think it's a really nice looking tractor. It's a nice looking thing. This pack is the John Deere 7R, 8R, 8RT, 8RX 2020 US version pack by SiiD Modding. So this end we've got the 7R, we've got the 8R, we've got the 8RT, and then the 8RXs. We're going to look through these in order. Various different attributes and things on each, but these are the 2020 versions. If you look up at the wing mirrors, the design cues all there. The hazard beacons on these, not hazard lights, the beacons on these are the new fangled LED. They're really nice. I like the design on these. I think John Deere have done a cracking job on the design, and then SiiD have done a cracking job at the conversion over to them. They do, however, come with a drawback. You know what I'm going to say if you're on console. These are really heavy on the slot counts. The 7R is 68 slots. The 8R is 64 slots. The 8RX is 64 slots, and the 8RT, no, the 8RT is 64 slots. The 8RX is 66. So 68, 64, 64, 66. So yeah, pretty high on the slot counts. So whilst I mean, personally, I think they look nice. And I'll get the usual, more John Deere, people using foul language and things to describe them. But anyway, regardless of that, they are here. We'll have a look at them in store first. These you'll find under large tractors. So 7R Series 2020 is 238 grand base model. I've already told you what the slot count is, which is fairly terrifying. Options available on this one. We've got the front weight holder. We can have 300 kilogram weight, 500, 700, 1100. Back to weight holder. Wheel brand, we've only got Lizard or Michelin. It's unusual because normally Trelleborg is kind of a mainstay across the brands, but we've got Michelin and Lizard are our two options. Under Michelin, we've got 30-inch 480 R50s. Then we've got those with weights. Then we've got those with jewels on the back. Then with weights. Then jewels all round with weights. Then we've got basic wheels, wide tyres, double tyres, back to our 30-inch standards on those. Fenders, we can have no or yes on the front, and it is the new versions with the kind of squared edges on them. They're not quite square, not 90 degrees, but not rounded, if you know what I mean. Front fender, all fenders, or just the rear fender, so we can have the rear one on there as well. Or none at all, depending on what you'd rather go for. Then we can have protection grid on the front, like so. I do like the fact that that protection grid, the bars across the middle, are shaped around the John Deere logo, so you can still see the John Deere logo through the frame at the front. Very nice indeed. Then engine setup, we've got 210, the 210 at 231 horsepower, the 230 at 253 horsepower, the 250 at 275 horsepower, the 270 at 297 horsepower, the 290 at 319 horsepower, and the 310 at 341 horsepower, the 330 at 363 horsepower. So no slouch in that department, quite a few options available. Then we can have front loader attacher, yes or no, and then no screen. Now this doesn't really affect console. I don't know if it does on PC, but inside the cab, I don't know if you can just see right through to the front right pillar. No screen or additional screen. The additional screen costs an extra 7,550, but realistically doesn't serve a purpose as such. So it's a lot of money extra for, you know, not really any gain, I guess, is the best way of putting it. So that's the 7R. The 8R, standard on the front, 300 kilogram weight, 500, 7, 1100, back to standard. Same, we've got, I didn't show the lizards on the other one, did I? We'll show the lizards on this one. Lizards and Michelin again, those are the two options. Lizards, 30-inch weights, rear jewels, weights, jewels all round with weights. Then we got these, which I think are just wow. The Lizard 1100 45R 46s. Look at that. That just looks fantastic. Personal preference with weights, and then back to the standard again. Under Michelin's, we go through the same options. I think pretty much that the 7R had. Yeah, just remembered though. I'm going to go back to the 7R because I didn't show you the lizards. So we go for the lizards. Unlike the 8R, the 7R doesn't have the big flotation tyres. Then on to the 8RT. The 8RT we can have again at the front standard. We can have it with a front bracket, then with weights on 300, 500, 700, 1100, and back to standard. We can have the wheel track at 2 meters, 2.3 meters, 2.6 meters, or 3 meters. We can have the actual track width themselves of the actual rubberized tracks at 16 inches, 40 centimeters, 45 centimeters, 18 inches, 24 inches, 25 inches, or 30 inches for the actual width of the tracks themselves. I mean, don't get me wrong, the 30s look menacing, but if you are going to be doing row crop work, you go right the way down to the 16s, which are really narrow, and then depend on what your row widths are, out to 3 meters with those little narrows. Yeah, little narrows. And then engine setup, we have got the 310 at 357, the 340 at 388. I'm just thinking, did I go through the engine sizes on the? Oh man, I'm having a nightmare. On the 8R, sorry. The 340 at 388 horsepower, the 370 at 420 horsepower, the 410 at 458 horsepower, and then back again. So 458 is what this one tops out at, and then we can have it again, no screen or with screen, which adds another 7,550 for the screen. I can't believe they cost that much in the real world, can they? Another nearly 8 grand for a screen. That'd be mad if they do. So, just in case I did forget, because I'm trying to think if I showed it or not. With regard to, yeah, I didn't show anything. I didn't show the fenders or anything on the 8R. Sorry. Same thing with the fenders. You can have the front fender, both fenders, just the rear fender, or none. Engine setup starts at 290 horsepower. We go up to 275, 308, 357, 388, 420, 458, and then back down again. So 458 is what the 8R tops out at. But the 8R doesn't have the option for a front loader, whereas the 7R does. So we've done the 7R, 8R, 8RT, onto the 8RX 2020. So we start standard again with weights 300, 500, 7, 11, back to standard for our weights. Windows we can have regular or tinted, so you can go with a tinted window look if you want to go for that. Then the engine setup, we've got 357 horsepower, 388 horsepower, 420 horsepower, 458 horsepower and back again. So this one tops out 458 horsepower as well. Again, we've got a selection with screen or no screen at the side, again for 7,550. And this one we can have 24-inch tracks. Then we can have the actual track width, not the actual tracks themselves, but the axle width is the word I'm looking for. 120-inch spacing, still with 24-inch tracks, or you can have the 120-inch spacing with 18-inch tracks, so a slightly narrower version. Personally, I think that looks nicer. That's my own personal preference. I think that's what Millennial Farmer had. I'm sure he had a wide track version. He couldn't say enough good stuff about it. Just said it was just amazing. So, what do they sound like and what features do we have? So, the 7R. Lights. The light packages on these are really nice, the LED light packages. And look at the beacons, you can barely even see them. They've got the little flashing LEDs that it looks actually way better the further away you come, and at night they look amazing. But that's fancy stuff, that. I don't think we haven't got doors open or anything like that on this one. Horn, there's a bit of a peep peep inside, nice and tidy. Cycle throw light options, indicators come up on the door pillar with an audible sound. Seat suspension, so the seat's not moving around you, you are moving with the seat. I do like that as an option. So that's the 7R. The 8R. Now the 8R does come with the function that L1 and right stick up and down we can raise and lower the front suspension, like so. Very cool. Horn, light package, the same with the LED flashy little beacons on top too. Again, like I say, the light package is incredible on the new John Deeres. I mean, on a lot of the new tractors, the LED lighting systems that a lot of them have now are just incredible. The light they put out. I don't think we've got doors open and closed in this either. No, it's just the suspension on that one at the front that changes, which moves me on to the 8RT. The design on these is a little bit more angular. There's a few more angles on these than you get on the older versions. This one, I'll be honest, of the few different ones I've driven in-game, the in-game standard ones and a few of the modded ones, this seems to turn with a lot more fluidity. It doesn't seem as jerky and unpredictable. It seems actually, to me, very controllable. I often find when I'm using tracked vehicles like these, they tend to just have a mind of their own when they go flying off at an angle. This does seem very predictable. Same thing, light package and beacons. Horn. In-cab, again, very nice indeed. I don't think we've got doors or windows on this either. Nope. So that's our 8RT. And then we've got the 8RX. So I've got one in the standard track width, or axle width. So I've got 24-inch tracks on a standard axle width, and then I've got the 24-inch tracks on the 120-inch, just to give you a kind of idea of the width of that. But like I say, it is a completely personal preference. I love the look of this. I think it's amazing. So this does have a few features that the others don't. I suppose because this is the flagship one in the pack, isn't it? But just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just I really like it. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. Light package the same, beacons the same, horn different. Truck horn on that. We also have L1R1. This is seriously cool, and I like this a lot. Opening door, but watch. The interior light comes on. And you can get out, look. Doors open, interior lights on. I know it's a small thing, but that's a cool feature. I like that. Light goes off. Wow! Then we've got open cover as well on this one. When we get in, so imagine for 1 second, if you will, join me. We've just opened the door, lights come on, and in we get. Very nice indeed. We close our door. Now our wheel, we have to do ourselves, which I like as an option. Get your wheel into position, and now we're good to go. I like a lot. Get a nice little bit of lean on them, not too much. Again, seat suspension, and then we've got the slightly wider axled one as well. I've left the light on in that. I did wonder whether the light would go off, you know, if I left it. It hadn't done up to now, but still turns very well on the wider axle width. It's not a bad turning circle on that at all. Very nice indeed. One thing I do want to check very quickly before I move on. I'm hoping I didn't miss it on these. No. I suddenly thought, I'm sure I didn't. Whether it had the open cover option on these for the steering wheel to be adjusted, but it doesn't. It's only on the 8RX that it does it, yeah. I thought I would double check. So there we go. The 8RX is now here, along with the other ones in the pack. And all the mods for today. So that's the John Deere 7R, 8R, 8RT, 8RX 2020 US version pack by SiiD Modding. Very nice they are indeed. And that is it for our mods for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.